Today I decided to make my dad a coconut cake. Now, I've never made a coconut cake before, so I'm really hoping that it's gonna turn out. I've made other cakes from scratch, and not to like make my head any bigger, I have been told I make good cakes. If that's what the crowd is saying, that's what the crowd is saying. I did tell him that the coconut cake was a surprise. However, I think my head might have been a little too big when making that promise, because like I said, I've never made coconut cake before. So if this is actually really bad, I think I'm just gonna have to like run to the store and buy a coconut cake from the store and like make it look homemade, because if not, I'm gonna be really embarrassed. I'm gonna collect all the ingredients and then I'm just gonna like set up on the table where I'm gonna make the cake. So yeah. I decided to make a coconut cake for my dad today because I love to bake for my dad, because he's a great papa. Baking is like one of the things I do for the people that I love. Now, am I a great baker? No. Am I the worst baker? No, tampoco. But I'm somewhere in the middle, to the point where you could be like, this is great. Will you be like, oh my God, start your own small business? No. No. Here are the facts though. I don't have all the ingredients I need to make the coconut cake. For example, I don't have coconut milk. I don't think I have enough coconut flakes. So we're already starting off a little rocky. I think I can make it work, okay? I just searched up like easy coconut cake recipes, and it's like right here. If I'm, wow, I lost, okay, wait. I'm losing my voice. It's hello? Are we live? It says 2 cups all-purpose flour. 2 cups. Come a little closer. Okay, does that look like 2? That looks good enough. That looks great enough. What a tyrant, bro. What a tyrant. This is going to be like the most I don't have you've ever heard in a video. But I have like a tablespoon. I have a teaspoon. I just don't know where it is. I've tried looking for it. People always touch my stuff, and I hate when people touch my stuff. I think this is about it. That looks like this cake is gonna be in the sky. I'm just gonna do a pinch of salt. I always just do a pinch of salt. I don't really do the 1/4. I'm not doing all that. If you guys hear my cat in the back, he knows my sister is awake and he's trying to go into the room with her. It's not gonna happen, partner. 1.5 cups of sugar. Oh. Why did I think that was gonna fit? I give myself more of time of irritation, currently 9:45. Whenever I'm in a bad mood, or whenever I already start off baking irritated, that's when things come out the best. When I start off in a good mood and I'm just like, this is gonna be amazing, everything is rainbows and sunshine, that's when things come out really bad. You know, my philosophy in baking is that looks about right. Honestly, I know baking is a science, but sometimes you just have to take the experiment into your own hands. Oh my God, I almost spilled all the vanilla. Okay. I need to take a chill pill. I put my oven to preheat, but I literally hate baking sometimes because I have to take all of like the pans and trays out of the oven. If you know, you know. We use the oven as like extra storage, and it bugs the flip out of me because every time I want to bake, I have to take out everything. And then once I'm done baking, I have to put everything back. I have my 3 eggs. It says room temperature. I'm gonna be real, I never follow that. I don't know if that's actually going to change the outcome, but I never follow room temperature everything. One of my baking fails was actually so embarrassing. I was really mad. And to this day, I have not tried to bake that specific thing. I could never make conchas. Oh my God. Conchas and it's on site. Like, I hate making conchas because of this moment. One day I decided to make conchas, right? And like I said, up until that day, everything that I had tried to bake had always come out good. I spent so much time kneading that dough. So much time kneading that dough. but those things were hard as bricks. Tasted nothing like conchas. I don't understand where I went wrong in the recipe, but they were salty. They were just everything but a concha. Literally never tried to make that again. And if anyone ever tells me, oh, you should make conchas, no. No. If I could, I'd zap that thing out of my memory. That's how bad it was. And to this day, I still get angry when my family brings it up. They're like, do you remember that one time your conchas were like bricks? I'm like, yeah, I do. Every time family brings it up, I'm like, okay, I know you're not supposed to do this, but you always have to taste the batter. Where's my crown? Oh my god, this tastes like actual coconut cake. I'm so excited. Okay, I put everything away already, cleaned up my mess. Honestly, one of the worst things about baking is having to clean up everything and washing the dishes. I hate washing dishes. I really hate washing dishes, but I hate dirty dishes in the sink even more. I don't know if I should let the cake sit in the fridge for 2 hours in saran wrap or let it sit overnight in saran wrap, because the longer you let it sit out in the fridge, the more moisture it gets because of like the heat. Look at me talking like I know what the flip I'm talking about. This is the Beauty Koki, which is what I'm naming her. Okay, and now onto the whipped cream. I blended up some sugar to make powdered sugar. Yup, scientist. I also added Mexican vanilla extract. Then I got some heavy cream. I had to shake it up. I don't know why I took a mid-dance break, but I did. I used a bigger bowl because the cream was overflowing. It was really bad. But the cream itself was not bad. It was actually delicioso. I ate that up. I was so happy the cream came out because honestly, I was having so many fails behind the camera. Everything was overflowing. I was spilling everywhere. The cord got into the cream at one point. It was just a nightmare. So I'm cutting the edges of the cake because my dad really hates the edges of a cake. So I just decided to take the extra step to do it. But also ignore how I'm cutting it, or actually don't ignore it, because this should be a safety video on how to hold the knife. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know what I was doing, honestly. Like hacking away at the poor thing. I don't know. Okay, look, moving on. I had to take the top off because I wanted a flatter surface for the cream. And then I started adding the cream little by little. I decided to do a little crumb coat just so the cream could stick better. I was so proud that the cream came out stable because usually what happens is that my cream never stabilizes and it always ends up like melting, but look at that fluffy deliciousness. I decided to put it in the fridge for like, I think 20 minutes. It was a whole Grey's Anatomy episode, so yeah, once that episode was over, I just came back and then decided to add the second coat of frosting. I had never done this before, like a crumb coat, but now I realize why people do it, because the cream stuck so much better. And honestly, at this point, my head was getting so big, guys. I was like glazing myself in my head. I'm not the best icer either, so the fact that the icing was working with me, everything was just working really well. But the universe needed to humble me, and the clip of the coconut flakes fell into the cake and I had to fix it. But despite all the challenges, the cake came out amazing and my dad really loved it. So yeah, here is my cake. Bye!